On number 20, you have to use negative b over 2a. B is the number in front of x, so in this case it's negative 6, which kind of looks like a b. 2 times negative 3, you end up with negative 6 over negative 6, which is positive 1, and that is your axis of symmetry, x equals 1. You're going to plug that back into this equation, and so that's going to be negative 3 times 1 squared plus 6 times 1 minus 5. So that's negative 3 plus 6 minus 5, and it totals, it's going to be negative 3 plus 6 is 3, minus 5 is negative 2. So your vertex is at 1 because that's your axis of symmetry, negative 2. Your domain, again in interval notation, it goes from negative infinity to infinity. In set builder notation, it is x such that x is all reals. That is opening down, so I'm going to draw this when it opens down. It's going to increase until it gets to the vertex, and so it's going to increase from negative infinity until the x value of the vertex, which is 1. It will decrease from 1 to positive infinity. Because this opens down, that vertex is a maximum, and the minimum or maximum value, it is a max, and the value is the y of your vertex, which is negative 2. The range in interval notation, oops, you don't mark it like that. We do parentheses. You start with the parentheses, and it begins at negative infinity because these go forever, and it goes all the way up to negative 2. The range in set builder notation is y such that y is less than or equal to negative 2. On 21, we have the x-intercepts, and your x-intercepts are 4, 0, and negative 6, 0. Your axis of symmetry is directly between those, and so you would add 4 and negative 6 up, and you get negative 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1, and that's your axis of symmetry. Your vertex, you would plug 1 in. Oh, that is a negative 1. I don't know what I was thinking. I can't read that very well because it is negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. So that's negative 2 over 2. Can't see that, is negative 1. So that's negative 1. So your vertex begins at negative 1, and you plug that into the equation, and you have negative 3 times negative 1 minus 4 times negative 1 plus 6. This is going to be a big number. That's negative 3 times negative 5 times positive 5. The two negatives make a positive. 3 times 5 is 15, times 5 is 75. Glad we're not graphing that one. Okay, that is a negative, so your graph is going to eventually open down. Because it's a negative, your vertex is the maximum. The maximum value is 75 because it's the y value. Your domain, easy, easy, easy. It is negative infinity to infinity. In set builder notation, it is x such that x is in the reals. It increases from negative infinity up to the x value, which is -1, and it decreases from -1 to infinity. The range. The range, we're looking at the y values, and you start with negative infinity because it opens down, because you always start with the smallest number, and you go up to 75. It includes 75, so it gets a bracket. In your set builder notation, it is y such that y is less than or equal to 75. Okay.